heard that saying, I'm here for a good time, not a long time? Well, that saying applies to the vehicle we're reviewing today on the Auto Insider. Welcome back. This is where you come to find out what's new, what's hot, and what's not in the automotive industry. If you don't want to miss any more of these videos, make sure you click and subscribe and click that little bell and make sure you get alerted each time we have a new review coming out. This week, we're reviewing this 2024 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. This is one of those vehicles that I would put in the list of aspirational vehicles, but not so much because of the price. This one is because of the elephant in the room. Alfa Romeo has not had the best track record when it comes to reliability, but I would say in North America, I would attribute that more to people trying to use this car as a daily driver. This isn't one that you sit in the commuter line or the carpool line at your kid's school. And it's not one that you sit on 75 and 85 here in Atlanta in rush hour traffic. This is a vehicle for back windy roads and who may have those exclusive memberships to some of these great driving clubs. You know, painted garage floors, huge toolboxes, and a bunch of time and money on your hand. Let's not waste a lot of time out here. Let's get in this Alfa Romeo and talk about it from where it really shines. The Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio competes with the Mercedes C43 AMG, the Cadillac Blackwing, maybe some of the M-Class BMWs. It is a performance sedan. Alfa Romeo's heritage is tied to Ferrari, and that in and of itself leads me to the theme of this review. The Giulia is not a daily driver. Some of the competitors from Cadillac, BMW, and Mercedes have a lot of creature comforts that will lend itself to a daily commuter. And while the interior in this Alfa Romeo is not bad at all, it's really comfortable, the seats have good lateral support, and it's like driving a go-kart. It goes wherever you point it. So all those things work well. Let's talk about the elephant in the room right away and get that off our chest. Alfa Romeo has been marked with a spotty past as far as reliability is concerned, which is why this is a vehicle I would give high marks to anyone who has those garages with the painted floors, the beautiful toolboxes, or someone who has a membership to one of those car clubs at a track. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, then this video is probably not for you. For the rest of you, here's what I think about this Quadrifoglio. While I would love to drive a car like this every day, my pocket won't allow it. And this is not quite an aspirational vehicle, but it is one of those vehicles that is more niche. This is for someone who understands Italian design, someone who respects the design of a vehicle like this. Most people, the average car buyer, does not have the same kind of respect and regard for the design of a performance sedan like this. It's really difficult to get this type of power and performance out of a vehicle with such beautiful lines and curves. This is an engineer and designer working hand in hand to bring you the best of driving and handling capabilities. Which is why this is not a daily driver. This is not a vehicle that you sit in the carpool line idling for 30 minutes. This is not a vehicle that you drive in stop and go traffic on a daily basis. In fact, I would say it's more like a Ferrari. This isn't a car that you put 60,000 miles on. This is one of the ones 3 years later, if it's got 20,000 miles on it, someone has really driven it hard. That said, if you are looking for a performance sedan that checks off all the boxes, it does have up-to-date technology, even though it doesn't have wireless Apple CarPlay or wireless Android Auto. It does have a touchscreen. It's a bit small. It's here, and it works like this generation expects. The instrument cluster, pretty simple, easy to read. All of the fuss for this vehicle has been left under the hood and on all four wheels. So let's talk about what's under the hood. We have a 2.9 liter V6 twin turbo putting out over 500 horsepower. It's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and I've seen other journalists complain about the fact that a manual transmission is not available. I, on the other hand, can appreciate an automatic because I'm not the best with the 3 pedals. So I know the best performance for me, and probably most of you, will come from an automatic transmission. This transmission is very responsive. It knows when to go, and when you hit it, I think Alfa Romeo could have put a little more time, energy, effort, and money into the reliability to perform it. And they could have saved some of these safety features like the intelligent cruise control and lane keep assist and all those features that are on here. That's, I know, something that people in the North American market are looking for. So many people are confusing this with a replacement for a BMW or a Mercedes or, let's say, a Cadillac or maybe even a Lexus. But it's not. This is a very niche vehicle. Alfa Romeo has their own lane. The Giulia that we have has a carbon fiber splitter here in the front. And on the rear, you have an exposed carbon fiber diffuser as well. There's also a carbon fiber roof. It makes this car look a lot better than the average vehicle. Not to mention, there's a $2,200 upcharge for this green paint. But it does stand out, and I think it's worth $19.99 at least. When I compare this to other sports, premium sports sedans, a couple of things to note to me. There are some really high quality premium materials in here, like this exposed carbon fiber on the doors and across the dashboard. Nice soft leather wrap. Dashboard here, things look really premium. There's a suede Alcantara inset here on this nice leather wrap steering wheel with a bit of exposed carbon fiber here as well. But then you get to things like your seatbelt covers and your door panels. There is a really cheap, hard plastic there that takes away from the premium aesthetic of the interior. So if you're looking at the competitors like Mercedes and Cadillac, you'll notice they did leave a few things off, but I guess they put it into the performance and the engine, suspension, and drivetrain. I'm often questioned by my wife and others, why would somebody want a vehicle like this? Why would we spend $80,000 on a performance sedan? Well, here's the playlist. Seconds. This Quadrifoglio feels right at home and at peace. Never do I feel out of control. As you can tell, the accelerator is a lot more responsive, and this thing is ready to burn up somebody's track. So again, Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio is not your daily driver. Yeah, maybe as a brand, this Italian company has had some hiccups when it comes to reliability. But all in all, you're looking for a fun sports sedan that you can unwind on the weekends and just know that you're going to have a little bit of repairs every once in a while. Alfa Romeo should be on your list. So while our position remains, the Alfa Romeo is not your daily driver. It's not a commuter car. It's not one you're going to see a lot of these in the carpool line at your kid's school. Now that may be an incentive for some of you to go get one just so everybody won't be driving the same vehicle. And it is a beautiful, masterfully crafted automobile. They really know how to make a vehicle look the part. So if you're on the quest for a sports sedan for you and your family, this might not be it. But if you're on the search for a sports sedan just for you on the weekends, this one has to be on your list, despite anything anybody has to say about the elephant in the room. So all things considered, from the position of someone who's not only an auto enthusiast, but I also find myself in a position where I have to make recommendations to you about what I think about a vehicle. This Alfa Romeo would absolutely be on my list if I were in the market for a high-performance sedan. Keep in mind, maintenance goes along with the ownership experience. But at the end of the day, I think it's completely worth it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on The Auto Insider.